Thank you for joining us on International Women's Day for this program, Acting for Human Rights, the Guthrie Theater, World Without Genocide, and Heaven. My name is Ellen Kennedy. I'm the founder and director of World Without Genocide, a nonprofit human rights organization committed to protecting innocent people, preventing violence, prosecuting perpetrators, and remembering those whose lives have been affected by violence. Today's show will highlight a unique collaboration between the Guthrie Theater, World Without Genocide, and Flying Foot Forum Theater. This partnership focuses on a play called Heaven, opening at the Guthrie on Saturday, March 26th, produced and directed by Flying Foot Forum. The subject of the play is the genocide in Bosnia in the early 1990s, a tragedy of violence, extermination, and displacement. We'll talk with women survivors, activists, actors, a Guthrie founding staff member, and a musician to hear about this play, what the situation in Bosnia was like for women who lived through the war, and how we all can respond to these conflicts with hope, courage, and action. Stay with us as we begin with Sheila Livingston of the Guthrie Theater and Randy Markison, who traveled to the war-torn region many times and interviewed women survivors in Bosnia and Serbia. The music you'll hear throughout the show is from the group Orkestar Bezime, specializing in Balkan dance music. Their music will be heard in the play Heaven, and we'll speak with band member and lead singer Natalie Nowitzki later in the show. We'll feature songs from Bosnia, Serbia, Macedonia, and Kosovo. I'm honored to welcome our first guests this evening, Sheila Livingston and Randy Markison. Sheila is the Director of Artistic Relations at the Guthrie Theater and has been with the Guthrie since its founding. Sheila, welcome.
Thank you, Ellen. That's a great pleasure to be with all of you this afternoon.
The Guthrie is presenting Heaven, a brilliant and unusual play by Flying Foot Forum, another arts group in Minneapolis. How does the Guthrie create these partnerships with other theaters?
Ellen, it's actually the brainchild of our artistic director, Joe Dowling, who, when we moved into our new theater in 2006, with our three stages, the thrust stage, the proscenium, and the Dowling studio, one of his intentions was to share that space with smaller organizations in the Twin Cities. And so far, I'm happy to say that we have hosted over 20 different theaters in the Dowling studio. These partnerships are selected very carefully so as to give the community an opportunity to see diverse work from different cultures, and to have various theatrical experience. It also provides those theaters with the opportunity to reach out to perhaps a different audience and to have the Guthrie audience also come to it. So it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Oh, it's wonderful. The Guthrie has produced several plays over the past few years dealing with the Holocaust, the genocide in the 1970s in Cambodia, the current conflict in Darfur, sex trafficking, and other very difficult subjects. These are very challenging topics, and I know listeners will be interested in knowing how the Guthrie has chosen these plays.
Well, one of the missions of Joe Dowling, when he became artistic director in 1995, was to really expand our repertory, and he feels a great obligation to produce the new plays for the new century and to address contemporary issues. And so through a Bush fellowship, we were able to commission 9 different playwrights to go to various parts of the world and to be inspired to write about those plays. But compelling dramatic literature, whether it's written by William Shakespeare, Tony Kushner, or Julie Marie Myatt, often deals with challenging subjects. And certainly our society today, our global world, is faced with all kinds of really important issues. I think the theater can become a gathering place to discuss and expose these issues for public discourse.
Tell us about this upcoming play, Heaven.
Well, it's really a remarkable play that's been in the making since 2000. And I think that our audiences are going to have an extraordinary opportunity. People say that history records the events that happen. Theater gives us an opportunity to see the effect of those actual events on people's lives. So, the world news at the time of this play said, in April 1992, the government of the Yugoslavia Republic of Bosnia-Herzegovina declared its independence from Yugoslavia. Over the next several years, Bosnia's Serb forces, with the backing of the Serb-dominated Yugoslav army, targeted both Bosnian Muslims, and Croatian civilians for atrocious crimes, resulting in the deaths of some 100,000 people. It was the worst act of genocide since the Nazi regime destruction of some 6 million European Jews during World War II. So that's the actual historical fact. How do you turn that into a theatrical vehicle? The Flying Foot Forum has done an amazing job of combining stories, music, dance into this multimedia, multi-faceted production, where through all these mediums we see the story of people, of soldiers, of people who were once happy neighbors, of husbands and wives who were separated, of children, of families split apart, of both the effect of these events on both the victims and the victimizers. It sounds very serious, but there's also a lot of entertainment because Flying Foot Forum is an extraordinary company who do great dance, perform music magnificently, and so I think you have a theatrical event that's going to touch the mind and the heart and the very soul of the audiences.
Oh, it sounds wonderful. When will it be performed and how can people get tickets?
It's going to actually have one preview on March 25th, and then it will open on March 26th. People can get tickets in a couple ways. By calling our box office for ticket office 612-377-2224, or you can buy tickets online at our website, www.guthrytheater.org. Tickets cost $18 to $30, and there are 180 seats in the Dowling studio. I'd like to also tell you that students and senior citizens get $5 off for these tickets, and matinees are $26 is the top ticket price. So I do hope that your audience and the audience listening this afternoon will go to either of those sites for heaven.
Wonderful. Thank you. Randy Markison is our next guest. Randy is the chair of the board of directors of World Without Genocide, a human rights organization headquartered at William Mitchell College of Law. Randy, you spent a great deal of time in the former Yugoslavia immediately before and during the war years, as well as afterwards. Many people don't know much about the conflict that Sheila was describing. Can you say briefly how the fighting started, who the factions were, and how that war evolved?